If you watch this channel, you know that it's filled with all kinds of tools and tips and ideas to help you to manage stress more effectively. Today I want to do something a little bit different in that I want to zoom out and have more of an overview presentation or conversation or discussion in terms of just managing stress. First and foremost, it's important to realize that stress is part of everyday life. And while we may be able to reduce some of the stressors in our life, certainly, we can't get rid of all the stress for all the time. That's just not realistic. So don't stress yourself out by trying to get rid of all the stress in your life. That's not going to happen, so it's a futile attempt. That doesn't mean you shouldn't try to reduce stress as much as possible, but you have to go into it with eyes wide open, so to speak. Know that while you can reduce stress, there will always be stress in your life. You can't get rid of all of it altogether. So, just as it is important to realize that stress is a part of life, it's important for you to realize what kinds of things stress you out. You personally, you specifically. Everybody's a little bit different. Everybody has a different level of tolerance. Everybody responds a little bit differently to different things. So, if you're going to effectively deal with something, anything, you need to know what your triggers are. What kinds of things stress you out? Once you know that, you can either A, work on reducing or eliminating those triggers as much as you can, get rid of those stressors, minimize them as much as you can, and figuring out how to become more effective in how you deal with them. Remember, what could be stressful for one person could be completely non-stressful for another person. What's the difference? Really, the difference is in the meaning that we assign to the stressor or to the thing, or the would-be stressor is probably a more effective or more appropriate way to label it, and then how we react to it. So once you know what kind of things are your triggers, what stresses you out, figure out what kind of things, what kind of ways, what kind of tools you can use to address those stressors so that you can get back into a non-stressed state of mind so you can effectively deal with that stressor. And that's where something like this channel can be very helpful, because I constantly give you tools and ideas to put in your proverbial toolbox of how to effectively deal with stress in ways that is not only healthy and effective, but also things that you can use over and over again throughout your lifetime. And that brings me to the next point. While short-term fixes are fine, there's a time and a place for them, the really big point of this channel, and really of any effective stress management, is to find and implement long-term solutions. I always stay away from hacks and quick fixes and empty promises and fads, because they're just that. They're fads. They're not going to serve you for life. I'm much more interested in giving you the kinds of things that will stay with you for the rest of your life, that you can use over and over again, that can help you to become stronger, healthier, and more resilient the more you practice and over time. I always suggest that you seek advice from professionals, whether it's me, be it through this channel, my book, or my stress management course, or whether it's another professional who's also an expert in stress management. This is much more likely to be helpful to you. That's why I advise connecting, reaching out to professionals, especially those professionals whose focus is stress management. There is a million of opinions and bits of data out there that you could come across, but that doesn't mean that it's all valuable, true, or effective. Some of it may even be harmful. That's why I always suggest reaching out and connecting with a professional. So kudos to you on checking out this channel. If you're a follower, that's even better. You get to know whenever new content pops up. So stick with professionals, stick with people who specialize in the topic of stress management, and you're much more likely to gain knowledge and skills that will serve you in the long term. If you'd like to learn more about a comprehensive approach to effective stress management, check out the link below. And as I already mentioned, I also encourage you to check out my new book, The Stress Solution. The link for both are in the description below.